Hi, my name is Chaz Robertson. I'm president of 79 Group, and we're going to give you a tour of our gold extraction facility today. To my right is Preston and Ron Hufstetter. They were hired as our outside contractors to build our facility. And what we're going to do today is give you a step-by-step tour from the beginning raw or untreated ore all the way through to our final precip is what we actually sell to the refiner. Along the way, you'll get an opportunity to see some of our tanks and our equipment that we actually use in our process without, of course, giving you our proprietary methods that we use along the way. So just sit back and enjoy the video and have a blessed day. It all starts with our ore, and this is our ore containment center. You can see the ore inside there. And then what happens is we're going to do a full 360, and it's a little windy out today, so you might hear some wind noise, but we're going to turn around to our ore screener. You can see Ron next to the ore screener, and this is where we actually put the ore through a loader, and it gets rid of the big pieces, and then we use the more fine stuff to put into what we call the hopper. And this is the hopper where, you know, Preston is standing, and that actually loads the ball mill, which is not there yet, and we'll explain that in a second. This is where our ball mill will be, where Preston is standing. And over here on the hopper, there will be a discharge feature that will go down to a conveyor belt, and all of the ore will actually go through over to the ball mill. Now, we're not able to put the ball mill in because of the crane needed is so high. We have some power lines that are not moved yet, which will be moved soon. And we'll show you a picture of that ball mill. Now, these are our leach tanks. Once the ore goes into the ball mill, water is added and it crushes the ore and it creates a slurry. Once all the ore is crushed, it is pumped with a slurry pump up into the leach tanks. Now, the leach tanks will have agitators. They're kind of like a great big helicopter propeller at the bottom of the tank. And those will be hooked onto down here where Ron is at. That is the catwalk. But because of the wires, we're not able to put those in. Now, these are 7,800 gallon leach tanks, and around the leach tanks, as in all of our equipment, there is a retaining wall. That's just EPA regulations for what is done. Now, once it comes out of the leach tank, it's then going to go to the filter press. Now, this is the filter press. Once the ore goes into the leach tank and our proprietary blend of chemicals, we're going to release the gold into the liquid state. So what the filter press, this very large filter press, is going to do is to get rid of the ore. And that is one of the panels for the filter press, and that's a very fine filter there. And it allows the solution to go through, and it will go to the pregnant solution tank right there. That's a 5,000 gallon tank, and all of the gold will have been released, and then this ore will come over here and be slid onto a conveyor belt and be disposed of. Now, this is the pregnant solution tank that I said came from the filter press. That's where all of the gold is actually transferred into the liquid and the ore has been thrown away. Now, this pregnant solution tank, there's some pipe out there showing where it's going to be going into the inside of the plant. On the inside of the plant are what we call our precip tanks. That's where we're going to actually show you where we drop the precip out, which is our final product. All right, the tank that Ron is standing next to, that is our large water tank. Now, we have our own well where we're able to pump as much water as we need for our facility, but in case a pump broke, then we wouldn't have to worry about having an extra supply and wouldn't we be out of production that day. Now, the tank, and those are cages and ladders, OSHA approved, to go up the tank. Also, the tank next to it, that is called the Barron Solution Tank. That will actually come from the inside of the facility once we actually finish the process of taking the precip out of the liquid, and that's the remaining liquid, and we will have a truck come up and take that solution away. This is our outside building that controls our compressors, because all of the fluid, which is the old solution or slurry, is pneumatic, where it is air pumped through all of the pipes. And we have this outside so the compressor noise will not be bad for the inside of the plant. Once the ore leaves the pregnant solution tank outside, it's in just a solution form, and it'll be pumped into what we call our precip tanks. And as you can see, they're cone-shaped bottom tanks. The bottom of the tanks have already been plumbed up with the piping, and there will be piping up at the top where you see Ron is, that actually puts it into the actual precip tanks from the pregnant solution tank. Then we use, again, our proprietary blend of chemicals, and also up where Ron is, there will be agitators in those tanks also. And after it leaves these tanks, it will go to a filter press, which we will show you next. One of the last steps of the process, once the chemical drop has happened in the precip tank, there's a very fine amount of, looks like sand to you and I, and it is entrapped by the filters, and that's what the end is called precip. Now, once we take those filters, they're moist, and we in turn take them inside of the drying room, and the drying room has shelves and heaters where we will actually dry the precip. Now, just one more thing to back up. These catwalks that we have, these are designed, custom-made catwalks that we had built to literally be able to check up on the tanks for pH levels and chemical levels and everything of that sort. And we had to make them standard to fit our particular tanks and everything we're doing. We have one last step, which we're going to show you our final product, which is the precip that we actually send to the refiner. Hi, this is Chaz Robertson again. This is our final product. This is called precip. This is when all of the gold is in a metal form, even though it looks like powder to you and I. This is what we actually send to the refiner. It's a little bit different color than our original precip. We're not going to actually show you that part of our process. Now, we hope you've got a really thorough understanding of all the steps that we take in our facility. A lot of our work when we built the facility, just as these catwalks were all custom built, and it had to be tailored to our plant. We only have a few things left to do in our plant. Number one As soon as the power company decides to move the poles and move the actual wires, we'll be able to put up our catwalks over our leach tanks and to bring in the actual ball mill. Other than that, we have to finish up the piping. We've started the piping. We'll be finishing all that. We'll be bringing in all of our slurry motors and pumps that actually pumps the fluid and the ore through the process, so it'll go from tank to filter press all the way to the end run. And then we will have an outside contractor do the final electrical that kind of ties everything together, and then we'll be ready for production. Again, we thank you very much for taking the time, and have a blessed day.